Hey guys, we missed the double yesterday, so not too much work set for this week, which gives you a bit of a break. This follows on from Monday's lesson in that now we're sketching by completing the square. Remember that when an equation is in this form, you know the turning point. It's HK. The parabola will usually go this way up, so the turning point will be a minimum, but if there's a negative out the front, so if A is negative, then it's reflected upside down and the turning point is a maximum. So that's just if there's a negative out the front. Quadratics, which are our equations like this, can be transformed to turning point form. We transform them by completing the square. When sketching a parabola, these are the things we need. The turning point, which is at HK. We need to know if it's got a maximum or a minimum. To find the y-intercept, we let x equal 0 and solve. And to find the x-intercept, we let y equal 0 and solve. In the textbook, some of the equations are already in turning point form like this, so you don't need to complete the square. Alright, so let's find the turning point first. So the turning point is at HK, so for this one here that's at 116. And is it a maximum or a minimum? It's going to be a maximum because there's a negative out the front, and so it's going to be upside down like that. Alright, then we're going to determine the y-intercept. So to find the y-intercept, let x equal 0. So I'll have y equals -4, 0 minus 1 squared plus 16. So y equals -4 times -1 squared, which is just 1, plus 16. So -4 plus 16. Y equals 12. You can just put them in the calculator if you're not sure. Then to determine the x-intercepts, we let y equal 0. So 0 equals -4x minus 1 squared plus 16. Now I solve. So I'm going to subtract 16. So I've got -16 equals -4 times x minus 1 squared. The opposite of multiplying something by -4 is to divide by -4. So -16 divided by -4 is +4. X minus 1 squared. Then the opposite of squaring something is to plus minus the square root. So plus minus square root 4 equals x minus 1. And the last step, plus 1. So I've got 1 plus minus the square root of 4 equals x. So therefore, x equals 1 plus the square root of 4, or x equals 1 minus the square root of 4. So the square root of 4 is 2. So 1 x-intercept is at 3, and 1 is at -1. So now we can sketch this. So my y-intercept is at 12. My turning point is at 116. X-intercept 1 is at -1 and 1 is at 3. And remember, it's an upside down parabola, but it's a maximum. So now I just join these. Oh my god, so wonky. There we go, done. Let's have a go sketching this by completing the square. So remember, when completing the square, the first thing we need to do is find half of b squared. So this one here is going to be 9. I add that into the middle of the equation and I take it away. So plus 9 minus 9 plus 5. Then I need to factorize this first part, so I'm thinking of two numbers that multiply to 9 and add to 6, 3 and 3. And then I need to simplify this end part, minus 9 plus 5 minus 4. I'm going to rewrite it out. X plus 3 squared minus 4. Now you'll notice we've just put this into turning point form by completing the square. So this here, this is my turning point form. So from this, I can see that my turning point is HK. So this one is going to be negative 3, negative 4. Alright, so that's done, the first thing. Now the next thing we're going to do, so I might just put this as number 1. Number 2, we're going to find the y-intercept. So to do that, we let x equal 0. So we're going to have y equals, now you can either use the initial equation or the one we've just done. I'm just going to use the one we've just done, the turning point form. So 0 plus 3 squared minus 4. So 0 plus 3 is just 3. 3 squared minus 4. 9 minus 4. Y equals 5. So that's my y-intercept. Then the next thing I'm going to do is find the x-intercept. So this is step 3. X-intercepts, let y equal 0. So the equation is going to be 0 equals x plus 3 squared minus 4. And now what I do is I solve for x. So move everything to the other side. So the opposite of minus 4 is I plus 4. So I'll have 4 equals x minus 3 squared. Then the opposite of squaring is plus minus the square root. So I'll have plus minus the square root of 4 equals x plus 3. Then I'm going to subtract this 3, minus 3. So I've got minus 3 plus minus the square root of 4 equals x. So my two x-intercepts are, therefore, that's what this means, x equals minus 3 plus the square root of 4, or x equals minus 3 minus the square root of 4. And you guys should know that the square root of 4 is 2. So this intercept minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1. And this one minus 3 minus 2. So minus 5. Alright, and I haven't left very much space to draw this, but I'll just quickly draw it on the, where is this? Just going to do this. So now I can draw it here. I'll do it in blue. So my x-intercepts are at negative 1 and negative 5. My y-intercept is at 5. And my turning point is at negative 3, negative 4. Negative 3, negative 4. And then my last thing I need to do is just join them with a smooth line like this. Whee! There we go. So that's step number 4, draw the parabola. Alright, another example. So I first need to find half of b squared. So that's 4 squared, which is 16. So I add that into the middle of my equation and take it away. Plus 16 take 16 plus 4. Then I factorise this first part, so two numbers that multiply to 16 and add to 8, so x plus 4. Then the n bit, I need to simplify, minus 16 plus 4 minus 12. And then I can rewrite that out, so x plus 4 squared minus 12. And this here, where's my yellow highlighter? This is my turning point form. Wrong color again. Turning point form. So this was my first step, I forgot to label it. So my turning point is at -4, -12. My next step, number 2, is to find my y-intercept. So let x equal 0. So I've got y equals 0. And remember, I'm using the turning point form to do this. I think it's easier. Y equals 4 squared minus 12. Y equals 16 minus 12. Y equals 4. So that's my y-intercept. Then step number 3 is to find the x-intercepts. X-intercepts, let y equal 0. So I've got 0 equals x plus 4 squared minus 12. And remember, now I solve. So plus this 12 onto the other side. 12 equals x plus 4 squared. Then plus minus square root. So plus minus the square root of 12 equals x plus 4. And then subtract 4 over to this side. So I've got minus 4 plus minus the square root of 12 equals x. Therefore, x equals minus 4 plus the square root of 12, or x equals minus 4 minus the square root of 12. Now, I don't know exactly what the square root of 12 is. It's not a whole number. Well, the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 16 is 4, so it's going to be around 3.5. We don't exactly know what the answer is. You could just put that in your calculator. Alright, so then let's graph this. So this is step 4, I guess. So we've got our y-intercept at 4. Our turning point is at -4, -12 down here somewhere. -4, -12. So tiny. And then our x-intercept is around -4 plus 3. So that's probably going to be around -1. And our other one is at -4 minus square root of 12. So it's going to be around -7.5 or something. Like this. And then we join it up. And that's it drawn. I'm aware this was a bit of a long video today, so just do these set questions. You'll need to find the key elements, so the intercepts and the turning points of each parabola to sketch it. And then check your answers by graphing the equation on your CAS.